Hello, everyone. This is Karen Elaine, and I'm so excited to have finished this little journal I started 7 months ago. So I bought this actually on Amazon. It was a journal that had a green cover, and I covered it with some gel printed paper and a little watercolor focal point just to make it look better. But I love it. It's from Amazon, and they aren't expensive. And I think the brand is Mifuner, Mifuner. It's a 3-inch square journal, and I love that it has the rounded edges. It's really nice. So there you go. I'll just start the flip through. So I started this 7 months ago, about 6 or 7 months ago, in maybe late July, and it is actually I call this my cancer hope journal because it's all about going through the journey of getting treatment for breast cancer, which is what I am finishing up now, and my journal's finished. So this is one of the spreads, which was kind of like the nice, something that kind of gave me hope and through it, through this time. So I'm just gonna go through these. This is a spread I did for my friend who passed away 3 days after my surgery, and she loved roses and gardens, and it just made me think about her. And this is just a little swatch, just swatches with doodled leaves and a little bit of white pen. And I like to do layering and just practice. It's a great practice for layering and just and even washes. And this one is just some ink first, and then I painted watercolor and made some little lines so that I can do some hand lettering. And the pen I'm using for the hand lettering is, well, most of the time, I kind of mix it up. But this one I think was the Uniball Air. And then sometimes I use the Tom's Studio Wren. And these are my two favorite pens. And then I use a white pen, the Molotow, and I'm going to show you that one because people ask me all the time. The One for All marker, that's the one I like to use. And then I just use a variety of watercolors. And then this one is just a leaf practice with a little quote, "Serenity is not freedom from the storm, but peace amid the storm." And this one is it's a little whimsical butterfly. Don't be afraid of change don't be afraid. Change is such a beautiful thing, said the butterfly. That's what she's trying to tell herself anyway, right? And then this is another one, little rose. And this is about my just friendships and relationships that kind of go through changes, and really about having unconditional love no matter what. And this is another little practice of a little swatching and then layering and doodling and some words, just some positive words. And this is about my husband, I think. I believe this is just about my husband and our relationship. And the pink birds. Now, this one is interesting because I had just had my second chemo treatment and I was really wobbly. It was maybe the day after, and I just felt so wobbly, and my lettering was really strained. But I'm glad I have that. Even no, it's not my favorite painting. It just kind of I feel this energy, and it needed to it just needed to be expressed. And this is another leaf study. Change your thoughts, and you can change your world. Norman Vincent Peale. A lot of people ask me where I get my quotes, and really all I do is Google. I just go on Google. I think of a subject, like in maybe just gratitude, and then I just kind of look at quotes that resonate with how I'm feeling. So it's really a simple process, really. And here's some more little swatches with some doodles. And this is a Lakota prayer, and I love this prayer, and it's in the center of the book, so I'm halfway through. And I've just made some lines to do this, my favorite quote of all time, or a favorite prayer, actually. It's a beautiful prayer. And this one, I did a little more traditional flower, just a botanical, and a little quote on courage. And I don't know who did that one. This one was another, I think I was trying out some brand new watercolors, and I wanted to stick to the blue and layer with red or pink just to see how it would work, and then just a little bit of white pen over that just to give layers. And this one, I was inspired by, I don't know who it was, someone on Instagram, starts with a P, PAL, anyway, someone. And I thought, how fun, just making spontaneous shapes and then just kind of going around the shapes. And that was just an inspiration. And I thought I'd try and, eh, it was just a fun experiment and it was really relaxing. That's the most amazing thing. I felt really at peace when I did it. So that's why I wrote the thing about peace by John Mroz. And this is my little, I love making birds or painting birds. This is a little bit kind of a hybrid of a realistic one and a whimsical one. But I really love this quote, and I don't remember who did it. But if you want to fly, you've got to give up the stuff that weighs you down. And then this one is another leaf study. And I love it. This has a little bit of metallic paint or metallic watercolors. And I use a variety of metallic watercolors. I kind of just pick and choose from the brands that I really like. I don't have any specific brand that I like. But this one, actually, this green is a paint that I made out of metallic pigment and gum arabic. I just tried to make actually these two right here in this palette, this one and this one. These two I actually handmade myself. I don't want to do that again. I really appreciate people who make handmade watercolors and sell them because they're not easy to make. But there it is. I got to try it in my spread here. And this is a little fun little whimsical bird. And another thing people ask about this is, what do you do first, the drawing or the quote? And usually I do the drawing or the doodle or the painting. Then I look at it and it makes me think of something, and I might put a quote or just some thoughts next to it. So that's kind of the process there. And here's another one. Now, I saw this quote, love without conversation is impossible. And some people would disagree with that, but I do think a conversation makes it a lot better. And I just love these little goofy birds, and they're a little bit, I kind of didn't feel as free as I normally free, but this is what I love about journals. They're not meant for masterpieces or anything. They're meant to play in and to experiment, this is what is an experimentation in metallic watercolors over regular watercolors. And I kind of wanted to see how they worked. And some of them have lots of glitter in them. Some of them don't. They're more subtle. But I just really love shimmering watercolors. And I think maybe this one I kind of went over the top a little, but it was fun to try. And then this one, and again, same thing. I think I went overboard with the metallic watercolors, but it was, again, a fun experience. In a little, I like this one. There are only two ways to live your life. One is though nothing is a miracle. The other is though everything is a miracle. And I try to stick to that. I try. Doesn't mean every day I do it though. And this is just a little study on just masking off with masking tape and doing a quick little, these little roses in these little areas. And I thought that was fun. And I just decided to leave the background plain. And this was around the holidays, and I thought I was playing around with candles and lifting color. And I have a YouTube video on how I did that. But I just thought hope is like a candle. It may seem small and fragile, but it can light up the darkest room. I really love that quote. And this is another one on hope because, hope is something that we can all use a little more of. And this one is the Emily Dickinson poem, part of it anyway. And it's a little bird. And this one, I was actually watching a YouTube video. I was sort of thinking, I haven't done a landscape in a long time. And I just watched the video, and then I put a little bird sort of sitting perched on that, and then did this little quote on the side. And this one is a really interesting study because I started this watercolor and I hated it. I just went, oh no. And I just said, oh no, no, no. But I just persevered because it's in a book. I can't tear the page out. And I used white gesso to block out the areas I didn't love. And I started to just build upon that. So it ended up coming out, nicer than it started. And I just thought, at least you can rescue a watercolor by putting gesso or watercolor medium over it and then just proceed. It's okay. Just like I did on another journal. I have another journal that I did that with. And then this one is another little exercise on swatching, but more in a blue, sort of peaceful tones, and just trying to stay in one color way, basically. And this is like another experiment. And I really love this one. This is kind of my own quote, actually. My scars remind me that I can survive the deepest of wounds. to me, they are a symbol of strength and resilience. So I remember that. And this is my last one. I just did this just a few minutes ago. And I thought, what a good, appropriate closing for this journal about I will be a butterfly who sheds her cocoon from a newly winged body and flies away with many new and beautiful stories to tell. And this is the end of this journal. I'm so happy I finished it. I'm using a little closure, and now I'm going to start a new one, a new chapter of my life, and a new journal. So thank you for watching.